Hello everyone, and welcome back to another World of Warships Blitz video. Today we are going to be looking at one of my favorite American ships in the game. Reason why we're working on an American ship is, I think, pretty self-explanatory. She lives in the United States. But there's an event going on, and I thought, you know what, this might be a good time to review one of my all-time faves and my first ever premium cruiser, USS Indianapolis. So this ship did exist as one of the Portland class cruisers, and she was most notably known for being sunk by a Japanese submarine, and the whole story that the crew told about once a very few of them got rescued, when they were suffering from things such as dehydration and hallucinations and constant shark attacks coming up, and starvation and a bunch of other stuff that was just must have been brutal to deal with. So this is it's a very, very sad ship, especially for her crew. There's a movie about it that I would highly recommend that you go watch. It tells the whole story about the ship and just what she's really been through, because it was a lot. Okay, so before we go into the video, if you notice that how I am completely broke, because I bought this. I bought the Essex and I bought the Montana, which I find which is very, very cool in my opinion. I'm really enjoying the Montana, and Essex is sort of okay. I mean, I haven't had the best luck in it yet, but I'm ready for it. But going back for the Indianapolis, we're going to start off with a few comparisons. So chuck that in there. We are going to throw the Helena in there for one reason, and we're going to also throw in the New Orleans. So between the Indianapolis and the New Orleans, so they both get the rapid reload 1, but the Indianapolis, following a different characteristic, she gets a radar. Now, I could be wrong, but I think this was the first ship in the game to get radar. I mean, she's been out for a long time, so it would make sense how she gets radar. I think, yeah, the Helena was after the Indianapolis. So, New Orleans gets more hit points, slightly though. They're the same speed. The Indianapolis is very, very good on the engines for a cruiser. And with a turn time of 6 seconds compared to 5.7, it's kind of marginal, but I mean, you can fix that up pretty easily. The guns are the exact same, except for the Indianapolis has a buff and range. Now, I think the New Orleans guns are newer than the Indianapolis. Or it's the other way around. I forgot which one. Secondaries are completely identical. You get the same amount. The AA on the small caliber is better on the Indy, and the concealment with 7.98 is actually pretty good for a cruiser. Okay, now we're going to compare her to the Helena. So the Helena also gets a radar, but no rapid reload. And the Helena, being a light cruiser, is going to have different caliber guns, but the armor is strangely identical, which is kind of concerning. But these American light cruisers are actually pretty tough. But you get more hit points. You're better on the maneuverability side. And yeah, Indianapolis, slower reload, but more damage because they are bigger guns. You get the same amount of secondaries. The AA is better on the Helena, and the concealment is better on the Indy. So, what does that leave us with here? This ship is can be played both very aggressively and very passively. You could play this at 10.4 kilometer range and just rain down death and destruction from above, or you can do what I like to do, is get stuck in and just go mop the floor with everybody. You can two-shot destroyers with this ship. You have to be at a respectable range though with the AP, because seeing how this is a heavy cruiser, you get close to these, you're just gonna overbend. But yeah, cruiser killer, very, very strong ship. Let me show you what what we're doing here. So the equipment, I went with main battery mod 1 here. I think the other real suggestion would be the main battery mod 2, but I find that the turrets do get shot off a lot, and that's why I switched over to the main battery mod 1. Because also with the 9% turret traverse speed, it's kind of lacking, so we got to bump that up. Slot 2 is going to be propulsion. The only thing there's only 2 other suggestions I would do here is the steering gear and the deck protection. I like to be able to, given how these engines are pretty darn good, I like to buff that as much as possible and just get them even better. And steering at 3, I have thought about running a concealment build, but the thing with concealment is that it's only good for 2 things. It's good for running away, and it's good for getting in spots earlier. And say you're bottom tier, and you're faced with a very high battleship team. You get out there early, you're going to be shut down pretty easily. So I wouldn't recommend concealment. So go steering. I have thought about an AA setup, but you're just not going to get into a lot of carrier games, so it's not really that useful. I am using premium consumables in here, only because this is one of my favorite ships in the game, so that's why I use it. Supplies is standard stuff. We got speed, reload time on the guns, and hit points. My commander is actually almost a level 10 commander. So we got underwater torpedo expert, we got the torpedo alert, we got high alert, we got victorious charge. I would recommend going for another rapid reload. And this could be a commander that you share with the I have thought about sharing it with the regular heavy cruiser one. It's just that you would have to buff the defensive AA as well. You would have to get battlefield support and the AA defense expert if you're going to do that. So I decided to just make it my own commander. I did go with exploit weakness. You could go generous as well. I think I'd actually go with that. But the HE is pretty good, so you can set fires with this thing, and I wouldn't sleep on that. Fully prepared, because that's the only thing that really makes sense. Adrenaline rush. I had thought about close quarters combat expert, but you only get 4 secondaries, and they're not super good, so I just thought, let's just blow more stuff up. You are going to get the master reloader, and I'm almost there. Can't really upgrade it yet. APCS for sure, and then the horizontal protection expert. There's 2 more things I want to look at. One of them being the elite bonus. Now, this was my first cruiser, and I didn't really know what. I would go with the weekend operator here. I don't know why I went with cruiser modernization all the way back then, but both work out. I mean, it's 3% reload for AA damage and hit points, so it's not that bad of a trade-off, but I would go elite gun operator here. And then the historical camo, which I'm saving up for. I'm trying to make it a commitment, but there's always something that comes up. Is hit points, range on the main battery, large caliber AA range, and torpedo damage reduction. But seeing it as 4th of July, we're going to be putting the Stars and Stripes, make it American themed. So the Indianapolis in all her glory, she is strong. She's a great counter. This is one of the ships that is a great counter to something like a Belfast or a Shores or any cruiser at 2.7 with smoke and any DD. Because with the radar, the Helena is also good with that too, but I mean the Indianapolis does more damage, so it's better. So Alright, and I think you guys heard me talk enough. Let's go into some battles.
General quarters.
Target spotted. We're under attack. Fast reload activated. We hit the enemy. Nice shot! Torpedoes! Destroyed an enemy ship. Target hit. Enemy torpedo spotted. Fast reload activated. Good job. Nice shot! Good job! Target hit! Target the enemy! Nice shot! We hit the enemy! Good job! We hit the enemy! We're hit! Good job!